All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. So we got some exciting news about UFC 257. We've got a co-main event now, Dan Hooker versus Michael Chandler. Very interesting, all right? Now, it's exciting because, like I said, I didn't have high hopes for there being a big co-main event on this card because Conor's going to get paid so much, and I would imagine Dustin Poirier is probably getting a small piece of the pay-per-view as well. Good for him, by the way. So, yeah, but that's a big fight because Michael Chandler gets paid. Gets paid. It's not like having someone who has like real star power that's going to have to you pay millions of dollars. He's probably going to get paid $600K. That would be my guess. I would guess he ends up making around $600 to $700K total. But yeah, Dan Hooker, that's a beast of a fight for him. That is a beast of a fight for him because Dan Hooker has long reach. Now, I'm actually more curious what it says about the UFC and what they want to do with Michael Chandler than I am even about the fight. Because look, here's the thing. You got to assume that they want Michael Chandler to win, right? Just strategically. They want Michael Chandler to win because, you look at the lightweight division, you got Tony on the way out, okay, period. I don't care what anybody says. Tony has lost 2 in a row to the guys who are kind of near the top. Charles Oliveira, I believe, is one of the top guys. But you also have to factor in, is Tony falling apart? Is he really one of the top guys? Now, I believe he is one of the top guys. But nonetheless, Tony is no longer one of the top guys. So you've got Conor, and you got Khabib out of here, right? Khabib, in a best-case scenario, is going to fight one more time, right? He's going to fight one more time, best-case scenario. And he's going to fight one more time. But as far as the UFC is concerned, he's going to fight one more time, he's going to fight against Conor, and then he's gone, right? So let's even look at it like that. So they do the best case scenario. They get Conor and Khabib to fight again, and Khabib crushes Conor again. In that scenario, it's like, man, maybe Conor doesn't fight anymore either, right? So, you got to ask yourself, okay, what happens to Conor? Let's say Conor runs through Dustin Poirier, which he will, and then you get the rematch with Khabib, and then Khabib annihilates Conor. Let's say he beats the shit out of him, really, really fucks him up, and the way he did last time. Let's just say it goes exactly the same way. Does Conor come back from that and he's like, okay, now that Khabib retired, I want to try to be the new 155-pound champion? Or does he kind of just go, you know what? Whatever. I'm going to go do whatever. So the point I'm making is that you can't rely on Conor to have this staying power where he's going to continue to fight and fight and fight, right? Even if Conor beats Khabib, you can't even rely on him being a reliable fighter who's going to fight over and over and over. So the point is, you're losing Tony, you're losing Khabib, and you might be losing Conor. Right? So who do you got? Seriously, who do you got? You got Gaethje, you got Oliveira right now. You need another star. You need another star bad. And so that's Michael Chandler, hopefully. Because, look, I don't think that they believe... I'm sorry, you still got Dustin Poirier in there. But after he gets obliterated by Conor, his shine is going to be a little bit duller, right? But seriously, I don't think that... I think the UFC is looking at it, right? And they're going, okay... Is Dan Hooker ever going to be a massive star in the UFC? Probably not. He'll always be even if he starts running through guys, he's still a Dustin Poirier level guy, which is popular, but not a superstar, right? Michael Chandler could theoretically be a superstar, and so they have to play it out. It's literally like gambling, right? Certain guys, I guarantee you, I will bet my life on this, that in the back room of the UFC, what they have is they have graphs, right? Or whatever, some kind of graphic that's here's what this guy's top level could be. In the best case scenario, if this guy started running through guys, right? You factor in his personality, you factor in his, how he looks, you factor in where he's from, you factor his current fan base, and it's this is where this guy could get to in the event that he wins all of his fights and he wins impressively, right? And there are certain guys who have very high ceilings, and there are other guys who are yeah, he could get to about right here. And I'm saying that Michael Chandler's is way higher than Dan Hooker's is in the best case scenario. If Chandler runs through guys, he has a very, very high ceiling. And so with guys like that, they want him to win. So you would think that they would be trying to give him a favorable matchup. But at the same time, you got to keep him in the mix. So I actually think that this fight is them saying, okay, we want Chandler in the mix. Let's give him the best opportunity to win. Because people are saying oh, you should put him against Gaethje because, he'll run through because Gaethje didn't have great, once he got on the ground, he has no jiu-jitsu. So Chandler should be able to take him down and submit him really quick. Yeah, you're assuming that because Khabib took him down? Literally, that's you can't make any assumptions about a guy based on what happened against Khabib. That's just plain and simple. Okay, you cannot make any assumptions about what Justin Gaethje is based on what Khabib did, right? Look at Conor, man. Like, you're gonna tell me that like anybody has like that's well, as a matter of fact, a lot of you guys do this. Like, oh, Conor's weak. It's like you're basing that on what Khabib did to him, man. Like, look at the entire body of work from him, right? There's one fight that falls into he got dominated. He's going to watch when he comes back and he annihilates Dustin Poirier in one round. Everyone's going to go, oh, wow, this is a new Conor. This is a new refocused Conor, which might be true, but it's also just, this is a Conor that's not fighting Khabib. Okay. So putting him against Gaethje, putting Chandler against Gaethje could very easily destroy Chandler, right? I mean, like really fuck him up, like hurt him, right? Hurt him before he finishes him. And then guess what? That's the end of Michael Chandler. Okay. You know, he could put him against Oliveira. But Oliveira is just, I think that they're going to do Gaethje versus Oliveira. Now that is a very scary fight for Gaethje if he's able to get the fight to the ground, which I don't think he'll be able to, right? Because again, no one had ever been able to take Gaethje down except for Khabib. And, you know, but I mean, listen, if Oliveira gets that fight to the ground, he'll be tapping in a millisecond, okay? Literally a millisecond. There's no one who's got better jiu-jitsu than Charles Oliveira. So, you know, if you've got Justin Gaethje who doesn't even train jiu-jitsu, he has no chance against him on the ground. None. But I don't think that he'll be able to get him to the ground. I think Justin Gaethje will obliterate him on the feet. I think he'll sting Oliveira. He's going to start getting afraid to get close to Gaethje, but who knows? I mean, who knows? We still don't know how good Oliveira is. But yeah, I mean, bottom line is, if you really play this thing out, Chandler, I mean, you just don't know how good, you just don't know what he is in the UFC. You don't know who a Bellator guy is until he actually fights UFC fighters. They're just fighting inferior opponents over there. It just is what it is, man. It's just like a prospect who runs through the guys on the come up. Oh man, this guy's destroyed this guy. You're like, dude, the top ranked guy he's fought was 15, and then they get up to a top 4 guy and they get obliterated, right? I mean, look at Darren Till, right? Darren Till at 170 obliterated everyone. Got up to the higher end guys and got worked at 170 and then went up to 185. You know, there's tons of guys like that. And Michael Chandler, I mean, coming out of Bellator, it's the same thing, right? So Dan Hooker's a great test for him. So we'll see what he's got there. But yeah, I hope he wins for the exact same reason that the UFC hopes he does, because I want big fights. And honestly, the 155-pound division makes me nervous for the reason that I just said. You know, Ferguson on the way out. Khabib definitely on the way out. Conor potentially on the way out. It's only the strongest division because you have all of those guys in there, and they're all going to be gone. So, well, hopefully not Conor. Hopefully Conor reigns supreme. Although Conor won't stay either. I mean, seriously, even if Conor beats Dustin Poirier, let's say in the lightning bolt scenario, he beats Khabib. You think that what he does is he stays at 155 and then defends against all these guys? He'll go up and he'll fight whoever's the champion at 170 or fight Masvidal at 170. Like, Conor he doesn't care about sitting and being the champion anywhere. That's not how his brain works. It's never been what he's about. So 155 needs a new star. So, but man, I really do want to see Conor fight Gaethje bad. So I really hope Gaethje wins and Conor, whatever. I actually would be way more excited from the fight perspective to see Conor fight Gaethje than I would be about Khabib, just because I don't think Conor could beat Khabib really. But anyway, that is what I got. Dylan Dennis. I watched the Dylan Dennis Food Truck Diaries episode today. That was interesting. Just as a side note, he definitely was not in on that Jake Paul water balloon thing. Like that, Brendan Schaub might have been, but Dylan Dennis definitely wasn't. And that was interesting. I like Dylan Dennis. I actually like him a lot more than I thought I would. He's cool, dude. And he said he feels sorry for Dustin Poirier. He's like, he has no chance. He can't see Dustin Poirier lasting more than 2 rounds. I don't see Dustin Poirier getting out of the first. I'm just going to say that right now. I don't think he's going to last 1 round. And this is one of those things, man. I have instinctual feelings about things. That this is why I was always the champion in fantasy football, is I could watch guys and I could watch their interviews and go, oh, this guy's going to ball this year, right? I could just feel it from him. And I'm telling you guys, Conor is going to annihilate Dustin Poirier, man. Like, I can feel it in my bones. And it's based on him. It's based on his behavior. It's based on watching videos of him. I think he's going to really, really obliterate Dustin Poirier. And that's nothing against Dustin. I just don't think that a finely tuned best Conor that you've ever seen is beatable by a guy like Dustin Poirier. I just don't think his skill set. I don't think he can be the best Conor that's going to come out. I just don't think he can do it. So, anyway, that's what I got. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell. Peace.